Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Chamber of Pops. I'm your host V, and today we have a brand new comic book Tuesday with a comic book I'm so happy to talk about, and one that I've been wanting to talk about for so long, and I recently reread just to talk about, and that is New 52's Joker, Death of the Family. Oh god, this has a lot. There's so many comics involved in this book. Now, this was actually the first Batman comic I've ever read. I got it from a library, and this was the first one I've ever read, and it is fantastic. So, I'm going to go through quickly the comic books and who they were by and what issues they were, because they do have it in this volume, and then we'll go over the story. So, let's start. So, Detective Comics, issue 16 and 17 by John Layman, Jason Fabok, and Andy Clark. Again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong. Catwoman, issue 13 and 14 by Anne Nicosenti, Rafa Sandoval, and Jordi Tarragona. Suicide Squad, issue 14 and 15 by Adam Glass and Fernando Indo. Batman, issue 13, backup story by Scott Snyder, James Tyon the fifth, I believe, and Jock. Batgirl, issue 14 and 16 by Gail Simone, Ed Benes, and Danielle Samperer. Red Hood, issue 15 and 16 by Scott Lobdell, Timothy Green II, and Wayne Fosher. Teen Titans, issue 15 to 16 by Scott Lobdell, Fabian Nicozella, Brett Booth, and Norman Rapmud. Nightwing issue 15 and 16 by Kyle Higgins, Eddie Burrows, and Eber Faria, I believe. Batman and Robin, issue 15 and 17. Issue 15 to 17, I believe it is. By Peter J. Tamashi, I believe. Let's see. Patrick Gleason and Mick Gray. Then Batman, issue number 17 by Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and Jonathan Glapon. Again, I'm sorry if I pronounced those names wrong. Okay, so this is a compilation of a lot of comics. And basically what it is, again, like the Crisis on Infinite Earths, like the Civil War, and like any other comics we talk about, this only focuses on the main story. It doesn't focus on anything that happened leading up to this book or anything that happens afterwards. It only focuses on this main book. So basically, Joker's been gone for a year. He literally, and I found this out before doing this video, he literally cuts off his face, like the skin of his face, leaves it on a wall for a year, takes a belt, and reapplies his face. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. And basically, the Joker is trying to kill every single member of the Bat family. And this comic is pretty violent at times. and this comic kind of works in like a wave effect again. Like it gets really good, but then it crashes and it gets boring, and then it gets really good, and then it crashes and gets boring again. So the first half of the story that involves Batman, and I'm going to go back onto the volumes. That involves the Detective Comics 16 and 7 to 17, Catwoman 13 to 14, Suicide Squad 14 to 15, and the backup Batman issue number 13. They're not the best. Like they're good and I can enjoy them and I can read them, but they're not the best. And it's like that, like what I mean, it's like that crash kind of effect where it's like, this is, it's just more boring, and I found myself not caring that much about these stories. I understood them, I just don't care that much about them. I find myself asking questions a lot of the times. And then it gets to Batgirl story. If anybody remembers Batman the Killing Joke, yeah, Batgirl is back, and it's the same one. It's Barbara Gordon, and her back is healed. She's no longer in a wheelchair. She is up and walking. She puts back on the batsuit. But for her, main mission is she has a score to settle with the Joker, because the Joker and what the Joker did to her. I was invested in her story, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and then they take a break from her for 2 seconds, and then they go to Red Hood. Red Hood also has a score to settle with Joker, as Joker basically blew him up, left him dead, and then he goes basically to Ra's al Ghul, who puts him in that healing water and basically turns him into Red Hood. He also has a score to settle. Jason Todd also has a score to settle with Joker, and this story gets really good, and it's really enjoyable with these two, with the Teen Titans, because even Batgirl says it's like, you guys don't know what you're coming into. And then one of my favorite panels, and then you have Red Robin, and who gets along really well with Jason Todd, and they're all trying to fight, and then you have Damian Wayne, Batman's son, who really doesn't know what the hell he's getting into. And oh my god, it's pretty bad what he puts this kid through. Just to find out that he kidnapped Batman, he kidnapped Alfred, and who is Batman staring at? His family. And he claims he's cut their faces all off, and that I'm just looking for some of the artwork again, and basically is destroying them, and then he finds out, oh no, that was more of a ruse, and that's not their actual faces. Then they get into some toxin, and basically they fight each other, but they remember who they are, and basically they remember, and then Batman doesn't kill the Joker. He doesn't kill the Joker, but he also doesn't let the Joker escape. And again, he's picking off this family one by one. Now you're probably asking, because Catwoman isn't even invited to the main party. So you're probably wondering, what role does Catwoman play? Well, Catwoman has been either a good person, she's like Harley Quinn. She plays in the middle. She kind of joins the good side for a little bit, does favors for the good side, goes back to the bad side for a little bit. And again, it's very hit and miss. It's like kind of doing the good work, kind of doing the bad work. And yeah, that's really just how the story is. I'm just looking for some of the artwork. Again, the artwork in these comics are so fantastic. It's unbelievable. And I'm just trying to look up the panels where Catwoman's story, what like happens at the end of Catwoman's story. I think she walks away, if I'm not mistaken correctly. Yeah, she walks away. She fights the Joker a bit. And same thing with Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, again, she kind of just walks away, basically. She's half dead because he decides to keep Harley Quinn as his prisoner, but then Harley Quinn escapes and basically slits her wrists, gets out of the change, and basically heads back to the Suicide Squad lair, and basically they take good care of her. And that's what I don't get. Why would you incorporate Catwoman and Harley Quinn when they don't serve that much of a purpose in this comic? Like again, they both walk away. Like they both kind of fight Joker, but then they both walk away. They're not like the rest of the family that gets kidnapped. Like they're not like, oh, because who's in this comic again? Because they're not like Batman, Alfred, Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, Red Robin, Damian Wayne Robin. They're not trapped like that. So why have those two in this comic? I don't know why. And again, that's why I said the first three stories are really lagging. It's not until they get to Batwoman story that the comic really picks up and I can really enjoy it. Even with the Teen Titans, like Arsenal, yeah, Arsenal, Kid Flash, that the story continues to be gravitating because you even have Starfire in this comic, and she's doing good things in this comic as well. But it's like Batwoman says, you guys aren't prepared for what you're about to face in Gotham and against the Joker. And I really enjoyed that. I thought this comic was amazing and it really excelled in those stories. And at the end, it was really good. And I really enjoyed this comic. So overall, what do I think of this comic? I have to rate it a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Man, Joker is so sadistic. It's like basically DC cut all the strings off Joker and let him just run wild, and I really enjoyed that. I'm a big DC fan. I mainly review DC comics on this page, and I'm trying to review more Marvel comics. And I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a fantastic read. I had a lot of fun with this. Again, if you can just sit through and get past the first three stories. And again, in my opinion, I really don't think the Harley Quinn and Catwoman story made any sense, and I don't know why they put them in. Maybe it's just to play with us a little bit, maybe to play with our minds a little bit. But yeah, overall, this is a fantastic story, and I do recommend it. And I have to rate it a 10 out of 10. Um, is this a good starting point if you're trying to read Batman comics? No. I would say if you really New 52 Batman is really good, but I would start at the very beginning and then work up to this comic because again, it is good. Now, this was the first one I read, but then again, my mentor got it for me from the library and let me read it. And she knew how much I liked Joker, and she just picked this one at random, and that's how I got into reading this one. And this is what fueled my love. So my love for Joker started with Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight by Christopher Nolan. But then what really started my love for Batman comics was when I was like 15 and I was reading this at like 15 or 16. I was like either 15 or 16 reading this. And I read it because I always loved the Joker and I always quoted Joker in high school. And yeah. Again, I won't recommend if you are starting to read comics. It's not that I don't recommend New 52. I don't recommend this particular comic. If you do start reading it, either go with Rebirth Batman or just New 52 Batman. Those are the best starting places to go for, in my opinion, with modern comics. If you want to get into the modern comics. Anyways, guys, that's it for this review. That's it for this Comic Book Tuesday. Please join me for next week when we review another comic book. And I hope to get one out next week. If not, I'll get out a random video and then get back into Comic Book Tuesday. Anyways, guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Please make Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell, and I'll see you guys every week with a video or sometimes 2 videos. Bye, guys.